Been thinking about it for a couple of months. I'm going to start making some changes to this boat. And so I've decided to start basically stripping it out because I really want to start from scratch again. Now there's a couple of issues that I want to address. One of them, I do want to get rid of the tiller steer, so I'm decided to go to a side console. The other thing is I want to be able to retain my plastic fuel tanks because I don't want to go to the expense of having to buy more tanks. But I want to find a much better place to store the running tank, the tank that powers the motor at the time, and I want to have a spare fuel underfloor, but easily enough accessible to be able to switch over from one tank to another. I reckon to have 42 liters of fuel on board is plenty for the things that we want to do. So this new design in the vessel will have to incorporate somewhere where I can have this spare fuel tank and without having to trip over it. So in other words, it has to be covered. So I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to take that floor up, and perhaps in this section over here I might have a platform with an accessibility hatch for the fuel tank. Anyway, we'll see how it all goes. You sort of got to start somewhere, and I'm sick of thinking about it. I'm sick of umming and ahhing about it, so that's it. Full steam ahead. Keep watching this space. Yeah, so this screw in here is that screw head's completely stripped, so the only way I can it's to actually punch a hole around the screw and get this out. Okay. Yep, so that's got her. I'll have to take that out now. Look at all the corrosion in that right there. Yep. Yeah, so on the bright side, it does look like I might, be able to have enough depth and width to actually put a one of my fuel tanks in. Yeah, so you can see they really get gunked up with stuff. So this is buggered, that thing. And something to think about, for later, to make sure that because the floor area always has to be serviceable, so you got to be able to get to it, because if you can't get to it, well, then you can't inspect stuff. You can't sort of fix anything that may need fixing. You drop some stainless steel screws down there, you forget about it, and whooshka, it's going to just corrode straight through the aluminium at some point. And you'll be sitting out there one day going, wow, where's all this fucking water coming from? As far as flotation goes, that like, I put some stuff in there, but it it's not really where there's no flotation in them front chambers over there. None. Yeah, basic flotation, they call it. So I've marked where I'm going to cut the old floor, because this will be the base for the box, which is just sitting on the floor there now. I'm standing off a long top. I'll probably make 2 cups. And perhaps. See, I just lift that off there and lift that one off. Yeah, that's it. And then I'm going to try and put the saw blade right in the middle. It will help preserve the blade. So I'm going to use the old Quintrex Pro. So the floor has to be supported. I'm going to be using a 50 by 30 aluminium extrusion. It's a 2 mil thick. Alright, and just sort of push that down, sort of flush with that there, and then I'm going to put some pressure on it with clamps. Right, that's them. So I'll just let that dry until tomorrow, and that should be pretty right then, and then I'll do the same again. I'll put some of this other stuff on, I'll show you. Right, my little stash over here. Oh, there it is. So that's that section there, and I'll glue that on the top of the 50 mil. So that then will make up the 60 mil that I needed to bring the floor up, so it'll meet, you know, with those ribs over there, where the rib actually meets the chine. Yep, I can make that work. Yeah, so I'm going to add the extra 10 mil on the top here, if I can get this. Yep, here we go. Just a continuous bead of Quintrex Pro. Look, this stuff, the glues they make these days are so incredibly good. And again, I will put them under pressure by using a clamp. Right, get it all to squeeze out. Using a spacer underneath there. So all the pieces of ply, the small pieces, they're like fill-ins. Yeah, they will get covered with carpet, but they all get at least one, probably 2 coats of varnish to you know, to help them seal these from the elements, water mostly, because it's not really waterproof for marine ply. Using a wattle interior estopole, it's not going to be, you know, exposed to UV rays, but so we'll just, you know, give them a liberal coat of this stuff, and especially the edges. So starting over from scratch means just that. So yeah, this beautiful arrangement over here, well, I guess I'm gonna have to pull all this apart and start again, because I want to build a platform here, and the battery is going to go under here with a hatch, and the other main fuel tank will be going under there, also accessible from a hatch. It's line up with Yep, it's good. things make life really easy. Couldn't do without one of these. Yeah, so today's mission is going to be cutting this piece of flooring for this part of the boat. Just that center section over there, and I'll continue with some reinforcing underneath and see if we're going to be able to fit the auxiliary fuel tank, which is just a standard off-the-shelf red fuel tank. Yeah, using a pneumatic riveter like this absolutely makes the job a lot easier, but also it really drives the rivet, you know, really tightens it up, which is what you want. You don't get that sort of effect, you know, with a squeezer. Anyway, so I've got this part sorted over here, so I've got to think what I'm actually going to be doing with the other bays. But in the meantime, I'm going to try and actually take some measurements so I can do the cuts to fit the main sheet of ply, which is going to be going right here. So that's where the spare fuel tank's going. Oh well, I did make a blue. I actually cut the sheet, 30 mil too short, because I didn't allow, for that cutout over there. But never mind, I'll just have to stick another bit of angle on there. That'll be okay. A little bit of extra work, but that's fine. I'll sort it out. All right, guys. Stay tuned for the next episode. This boat rebuild, it's going to take me a couple of weeks, if not more. I'm still waiting on the console to arrive, the control box. I've got to figure out what I'm going to be doing with this, multifunction tiller arm. I'm probably going to sell it. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to keep it. Look, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. And so this sort of concludes, part of the floor rebuild.